Hello, boys and ghouls and non-binaries. Welcome back to D'ohMance Dawn. I'm Luke. I use he, him, and sometimes they, them. I'm joined by my lovely, wonderful, and spectacular co-host,
Fantastic. Hello, my name is Janine Juliet. My pronouns are she, they, and I think I'm gonna drop not having a third thing to say. I think that when I introduce myself as such to new people, they either try to give me a third thing to say, or they're just much more concerned on the rhyme that they don't really care about what the third thing is. Like if it just rhymed with they and could be anything else, they would just be fine, like I guess.
Mhm.
So like I don't know, like I'm retiring it from now, but this space for rent. If anybody could be able to think of anything that could be the third thing to say.
I'm Janine Juliet. I use she, they, and I'm Queen of Bartertown.
We'll start taking suggestions in the suggestion thread inside of the Discord.
Okay, I like how I didn't even factor a response, but I guess this is the show where we look at One Piece and The Simpsons and look at them as a spectacular smash up. We're back in Thriller Bark.
I don't know what I love better. Like I don't know what I love more. Just like the weird character voice that you get into, or the fact that you just drop it just as fast.
Yeah, it's it's one of those amazing skills that I have. And I just don't know what to do with it. So can't bring
Thank
that
God
into the
that you
bedroom.
have podcasts.
Yeah. If this is generally as much human interaction that I get with anyone besides my wife on a bi-weekly basis, like this and doing weekly grocery shopping. And when I go shopping, I end up going to 3 different shops on a Friday morning because the savings are to die for.
I
And I mean,
I love
I like
I
the
love
first
the
one for your.
commitment to the bit so much that you're just like using it just for just like is this a part of the script? Are you just switching on and off right now just for the hell of it? Because you're also coming up with like very like on. I'm not even gonna point at it anymore because like I feel like doing so is like gonna bring me away from what I like about it.
Yeah, no,
Can't
you don't look.
overanalyze it. You just gotta let Luke loose.
Mhm. I've been working so hard. Been punching my card 8 hours for what? Yeah. So we're back with part 2 of Thriller Bark this week, and yeah, these episodes initially ran between February 17th and March 30th of the year 2008. Hmm. I think that was first time that my parents took a post Christmas vacation. Also, I am pretty sure this was around the time when I was actually reading One Piece manga, or I had been reading during Thriller Bark as it was coming out. Back when I used to read on a scanlation site, which before you had all of the illegal sites posting comics that don't actually need translations and don't really have communities that are built up. you had to generally wait much longer for a manga translation to be done. And that amount of work required some professionality and consistency, and also a source that a lot of other sites didn't have. And like, there is an art to translation because it's not just changing word to word exactly. You need localization, and it's a talent. I like at EXC, where I'm going to be tabling this year with my friend Sri, who's coming in from Finland to Columbus, Ohio for this show. And, you can go, and I might see you getting some D'ohMance Dawn swag of some type. I've been talking about that for a while.
You
But,
guys are
like, they
waiting
are
for it,
bringing
right?
in
You
a.
guys are waiting for it. He's gonna do it again.
They
Like
are.
you think he's not gonna do it, but he's gonna. When you're not expecting it. I know.
Uh,
Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop pointing at it. I swear. Okay.
they are. Yeah, I'm going to try and get some D'ohMance Dawn gear, and yeah, it's just going to be a great time. But they're bringing in a professional like translator who has a long history. Also, Dan Klaus is going to be there. Brian Lee O'Malley is making his only non-San Diego Comic-Con stop there. Chip Zdarsky, Kate Beaton, and it is a free show to attend. Like, those are big names for $0 out of your wallet. Yeah, so we have a few Simpsons episodes to talk about this week.
I thought he was
So,
gonna do it that one
yeah,
time, but he didn't do it.
yeah. See, now you're expecting it, and I am just going to have you spooky edging. And now I can call this episode Spooky Edging because I just said Spooky Edging! God, I am
That's
sorry
what
for
I'm gonna
that,
call the entire horror genre from now on. Spooky edging.
man. That's also what happens if you do lawn care on Halloween night in the dark. Because you get the edger and you just roll it up and edge. I I I feel like I grew up having to do a lot of lawn care, and you never did, Janine.
Well,
Because of Texas.
yeah. I mean, there was that, but there was also I was allergic to a lot of stuff, and they learned that like they couldn't just like put a whole bunch of stuff on me and like make me do it like it was setting off my asthma.
Mm-hmm.
So after a while, it was just kind of like, okay, let's just get one of the other kids to do it, you know?
A likely excuse.
Now I've
Cool.
been hospitalized for asthma attacks.
Oh no.
It's kind of like a matter of record, but anyway.
The first episode we have is Love Springfieldian Style. Homer takes Marge and the kids to the carnival, and Homer and Marge want to have some alone time, but Bart traps them in the tunnel of love by turning the water into jello. So they start telling love stories. The first one is a Bonnie and Clyde story where Bonnie wants excitement and convinces Clyde to do crimes. They bring in Flanders as a getaway driver who turns on them when he finds out that they aren't married, not because of the bank robbery. And then they get shot by the police, and they also weren't actually in love. It's a weird one.
I I did like that they like right off the bat they're not afraid to show Homer and Marge just be like horny. Of
Hmm.
course they're like a different version of themselves, but um I guess like really just getting to see them like each other. I don't know. I feel like we their relationship, their marriage was hanging on by a thread the past couple of seasons, and like
It,
19 seems to be really good for them.
Hmm. Like not every episode is a oh Homer did something stupid or didn't think about Marge's feelings, like especially with these four. Well, or at least three of these four. But yeah, no, it's nice that they are doing that. Shady and the Vamp is the second segment, and it's pretty much Lady and the Tramp, but Shady gets the Vamp pregnant and she has puppies. Two of them go looking for Shady and get captured by Dog Catcher Willie, and Shady kills Dog Catcher Willie, brings the puppies home, and then the Vamp realizes, and then the Vamp reveals that there are nine more puppies. It's, I feel like it doesn't necessarily go anywhere.
I feel like that there were some pretty good jokes in here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I did like a lot of the creativity that they've done, showing the different types of dogs. Um, the joke of the health inspector catching um, Luigi, the Italian restaurant owner, because he just keeps on feeding food to animals and
Mm-hmm.
not people. That's, I don't know. Like, I have a soft spot for them trying to kill off a parody of Goofy,
Mm-hmm.
and it's still like, and having the punchline still not as bad as working for Disney. And now they're
Yeah,
working for Disney.
yeah.
Like, that tickled me so much because, like, everybody keeps on talking about how the Simpsons like predicted so many things. They didn't predict that. Like, damn.
Yeah, I mean it's also post post golden age Simpsons. I mean, I think the last big prediction that they had was Trump's presidency, and yeah. The third segment, Nancy Spungen falls in love with Sid Vicious of the Sex Pistols and gets some chocolate, which is a metaphor for drugs. They get hooked on candy together, and Sid becomes unreliable and gets kicked out of the band. Nancy tries to get him started in a new duo with her, but the new music isn't as popular, and that's kind of where it ends. It's it is a weird choice to do a Lisa and Nelson drug abuse romance story.
I did love getting to see the characters in something that's so outside of themselves. Um, I mean, after seeing it happen so much on One Piece, it's definitely softened the blow of like how much you can be able to stretch a character.
Mm-hmm.
And just like retain like some small bits that are large enough that like it holds the entire character, and the voice actor can be able to work with it in a way that presents this character's portrayal of this other character in a meta performance way. Um, and also, I also really like Candy.
Like
So
actual
just
candy or drugs?
kind
Metaphorical
kind
candy?
of both, but like actual candy, and like just watching these indulgences actually just kind of like it hits something in me.
Mm-hmm.
So after we're done recording, like there's a chance that I might like go to the corner store and see if they got any chocolate ice cream.
Ooh, I got some ice cream for dessert myself. Went and picked it up for my wife and everything.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am a full service husband. Jenny's, which is one of the local brands, they have their new summer flavor. So I tried their orange dreamsicle, the snow cone sorbet, and sparkling cherry pie. The snow cone sorbet was probably the best out of those three, and I'd probably just get like 3 scoops of that on its own. Anyone else? Anything else for this one?
Overall, I think that the device to get to these stories was. It felt pretty classic Simpsons, actually. Like,
Fair.
Bart pouring, like, jello inside of a thing like that, causing that kind of a mayhem. That feels like it would be the first act of a classic Simpsons episode. I don't know what happens after that point,
Hmm.
but I don't know. In these episodes, we see some pretty good Bart pranks, and I feel that definitely felt like an energy of Bart from a Bart before. This is the Bart that tries to jump Springfield Gorge kind of Bart, you know?
This is the Bart who is banned from any attire that you wear at school. This is the Bart that gets your school preacher or that gets your community preacher telling your parents not to let you watch The Simpsons.
Yeah.
This is the Bart on drugs.
uh
The next episode we had is the Debarted, where Donnie is a new student at school who challenges Bart as the top prankster. In the B plot, Marge damages Homer's car in an accident, so he gets a nice loner. Bart decides to step up his pranks, and when Skinner tries to find out who did one of Bart's big pranks in front of the entire school, Donnie confesses to it because he's supposed to build Bart's trust because he's actually an informant for Chalmers and Skinner, and fall. Bart's pranks start failing because Donnie rats him out. Willie informs Bart that there is a rat, and he suspects Milhouse and punishes him. Homer, meanwhile, fell in love with the loaner car that he refused to return, but then when he saw the old car being sold by the dealer, he swaps them back. Bart finally sees that Donnie is the rat, and Donnie confesses that Skinners and Chalmers adopted him, but this was also part of a bigger plan to catch Bart because Willie was also a rat who was luring him in, and Donnie feels bad about hurting his friend and helps Bart get out, and then they promise to hang out in the future. but also Skinner and Chalmers adopted a kid, and how is that legal? Like that's not the point of the story, but just like
Luke, it is 2024. Two men can be able to adopt a child together.
for a scheme on another child.
Don't be
Also,
homophobic,
Chalmers
Luke.
is a widower. So, like, two unmarried men just it it raises questions that are not relevant to the story, and I really enjoyed the episode, but just
I think that they definitely did get married on paper so they could be able to appear as a couple, so they could be able to adopt a boy together. But I also think that Skinner 100% made them do a ceremony.
mhm. Oh, and like there are definitely issues with HR because Chalmers is Skinner's boss. HR stands for Human Resources, Janine.
I think when you look that deep inside of The Simpsons, like, that's outside of the realm of fun. See, what I said was adorable because it put Skinner inside of a wedding dress.
Uh huh. And what's wrong with a man wearing a
I
wedding dress?
there's nothing wrong with it. I just think that it's a very good visual. I just think that your thing is kind of like more boring because like sitting inside of an HR office while a woman just tells you that what you did was wrong and we're gonna have to transfer Chalmers to another place, but you can be able to stay together after like you have like a 30-day unpaid suspension. Like that shit is fucking, I don't know, like that
From
it doesn't hit the same. It doesn't hit the same. You got to have some comedy. And I'm not saying that like it's always funny when like there's a man in a dress. I just think that it's just hilarious that Skinner would have this idea of a marriage with Edna so hard that even though he was not able to go through with it with Edna, he would instead go through it with Superintendent Chalmers. And in that scenario, he still even isn't himself. He is Edna.
I see. So what you are saying is that the Skinner is sublimating the feelings for the Edna with the Chalmers, who is providing the authoritative personality that he is looking for in his life. Yeah, da.
He's. Neither of them are saying anybody's name on their honeymoon, but they're both thinking about different people.
Ja, ja, I understand. We then have Dial In for Nerder, where Marge puts Homer on a new diet of bell peppers, but when he doesn't lose weight, Marge is suspicious, so she calls into Sneakers, which is a cheaters type show, to catch him. Lisa and Bart head into Springfield National Park where they meet up with Martin and accidentally kill him after a prank goes wrong. The police believe that a the police believe that a cougar killed Martin, and Lisa becomes concerned about getting caught. Nelson is suspicious of both of them and starts investigating. And then Bart goes to Martin's house to take care of Martin's butterflies, and Lisa, racked with guilt, shouts out that they killed Martin, which Nelson recorded Columbo style. Lisa tries to manipulate Nelson, but then it turns out that Martin was still alive the whole time and finally returned. And Homer, meanwhile, is caught on video cheating on his diet several times, which includes practically fucking a Eurospit. And in the end, Marge is more disgusted with the TV show than Homer, which I don't think that part really landed. Like, the TV show wasn't really doing much. Like, yeah, they wanted to exploit it, but it wasn't like they were forcing Homer to have more food or putting him into worse situations. I think Marge is still in the wrong here.
Yeah, Well, here's the thing.
It's
I
clobbering time.
I love Cheaters. I love its entire setup. It is trashy as hell. Um that is probably not even the worst thing that I can be able to admit to liking that would be considered trash. But um I think that it is different when it comes to diet. I feel like that there is a level of autonomy that is not being afforded. And I feel like that Homer's overindulgence to the point of full on fucking a thing of meat comes from just a lifestyle where he was forced with so much bell pepper. I feel like there is something, I don't know. I think that it's like you have to have what could be considered ethical non-monogamy, but for food, you know?
Non-meat monogamy. I
I
mean,
can't find like I know that's I know that might not be it, but I can't think of anything else that fits better than that.
I mean, the issue that I have with it is that like Homer agrees and then just lies the entire way to Marge about the diet, and like I also think that it is a weird thing to say that like I think Homer's weight where he's supposed to be obese is one of those things where it's like, well, I mean, that's questionable if I remember, because Homer Simpson weight. Yeah, between 239 and 260, and he's 6 feet tall. Like, that doesn't, he's not obese.
Yeah, that's the thing that really gets me sad because like in an episode earlier, he gets called 242 and he says, "I told you not to call me by my weight." And I'm like, "That's 10 pounds from me.
Hmm.
That could be a future Janine pretty soon." And it's like, oh, the huge joke about it is that him at that size is huge, and it's like,
Yeah, yeah. Well, and then even then, in king size Homer, he only is 300 pounds,
oh
which
my god, wow.
talk about body image issues instead of Nelson as Columbo. Did you go into a Columbo phase? Did you get Columbimbofied?
Wow, Columbimbo. You know,
You pick up the DVD set of Columbo, and then there's like you transform into a hot woman wearing a trench coat at the end and walking a basset hound. Columbimbofied.
oh my god. I've never heard anything that was so totally going to be the title of this episode.
I
Um
mean, we we already had a joke about what the title was going to be. But yeah, we have opportunities.
okay, wow. Um I haven't, but to be honest, I've really wanted to just based on how much other people love Columbo.
Mm-hmm.
Um I don't know, like is like Columbo fans,
Uh huh.
what's the best entry into Columbo? Do you
The first
just
episode is like one of Steven Spielberg's first things that he ever directed. Like you just watch in chronological order.
Oh, okay. So you
Yeah.
just set it up and you just keep on going. They're all
Hmm.
bangers.
Most of them are bangers. There's like one or two weak ones, and apparent. I dropped out in the like '90s era before like it really starts to go bad, from what I've heard. But like Columbo's whole thing is that he is a detective who takes down rich and powerful people who are evil. No one really knows much about him outside of he drives a shitty car, he sometimes has a dog, and he is a kind of poorly dressed dude. And everyone like doesn't think he's going to catch him, and then he always does, and it's just like, fuck yeah, no, this is great. Let's go watch a bunch of like old school character actors do this shit. Like Peter Falk can get it, and yeah, like I enjoy Columbo, and my Peacock, which I believe is the main way that you can stream it. My Peacock account name is Columbo Reboot, and then it's a picture of a T Rex. Also, if you have Peacock, you can watch Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. Yeah, the whole in scene where it's like, oh yeah, we're going to just have a bunch of Simpsons characters as old school NBC detective characters. I I popped for that bit.
Hmm.
Yeah, Dial In for Nerder was great. I think that except for the cheaters stuff, like the Bart, Lisa, Nelson stuff, worked really well. And don't fuck a euro. We are running long here. The last episode is Smoke on the Daughter, where Marge tells Lisa about her dream of being a ballerina, and Lisa encourages Marge to try ballet again. But when Marge fails and Lisa shows talent, Lisa gets enrolled. All of the other ballerinas smoke, and Lisa gets caught up in secondhand smoke and becomes addicted. Homer, meanwhile, tries to bond with Bart over making jerky, but when they try and sell it to Apu, they find out that raccoons ate all of their jerky, and Homer feels sorry for them because he sees they just wanted to feed their family that looks just like The Simpsons. Lisa almost starts smoking, but Homer catches her, and he wants to tell Marge, but he knows that it would hurt her, so he assigns Bart to keep Lisa from smoking. Bart catches her secondhand smoking and he tells Homer, so they send in a raccoon during the performance who steals all of the ballerina's cigarettes during the performance. And then Lisa is the only dancer who's able to focus as the show descends into chaos and Lisa decides to quit ballet. What a weird episode, but God, it is good.
Honestly, Homer resolving the B plot so that he could be able to use it in the A plot, that's just amazing. Like, of course they're gonna befriend the raccoons now. Of course the raccoons are going to steal the cigarettes.
Mm-hmm. It's very good. I also enjoyed like Marge trying to have a B plot and kind of coming up against a very kind of realistic problem that it's like sometimes it is hard to do things that you wanted to as a child and you aren't able to do them anymore. But also the fact that it was like, oh, I have traumatized my daughter so much that she can't really tell me about this isn't really resolved as much. But I think it works well for the no one wants to make Marge feel bad when she finally has something that she can feel very invested in. I think this one was my favorite of the four that we watched this week.
I think all of these were pretty solid. Like,
Mm-hmm.
going through every single one of them, for our purposes, they gave us a lot of different versions of characters that we have casted as main characters to give us kind of like a little bit of a look at a different version of them. But
Mm-hmm.
also, solid jokes, pretty good story. Like, at least not as bad as we've had before.
Yeah,
But
we have had much worse.
like, I would recommend the Departed, Dial N for Nerder. I think all of them actually. If I wanted to think of something, because not only of how later we're looking at them, but like how good they are. Like,
All of them show like solid story writing fundamentals in a way that this last season of Simpsons didn't.
and they definitely hit a version of these characters that definitely feel much more solid, much more true to them. You know.
Hmm. Everyone is acting based on their core. There aren't any, oh, well, we just need someone to be outrageous for one episode.
Yeah, definitely.
New characters we've unlocked include Bonnie Parker, Robbie Robin, that Mexican mouse, Johnny Rotten, Lord Evilton, Lenny Dog, Bumblebee Man Dog, Wile E. Coyote, Lillian Hellman, FDR, and the Cougar. And that brings us to One Piece, where we are going to be covering episodes 343 through 349, which include His Name is Moria, Trap of the Great Shadow Stealing Pirate.
Feast of the Zombie Song. The bell of the night raid is a sound of darkness.
Filled with animals, Perona's Wonder Garden.
Disappearing Straw Hat Crew. The mysterious swordsman appears.
Leftover chivalry! The traitorous zombie protects Nami!
Coming from the sky! That man is the humming swordsman.
Luffy in an emergency. The living place of the stronger shadow. The last one he went into a bit of pops from regular show, I think.
I kind of did.
Mm-hmm. That's great. I love pops.
I've got no idea why though. I haven't. Should I watch regular show? Like
A wager!
like I've only seen like a little bit of it, but that guy just gets inside of my voice sometimes.
I did my last rewatch during early pandemic. And like I had fun. I think that there are bits of dude culture that are still appreciative, and while it is formulaic, it sticks the formula well,
Mm.
and then eventually turns into a weird space opera for some reason. But also, it uses song cues really well. God, is there an when did regular shows start? And was there an anime that started at the same time? Regular show premiered in 2010. Anime premiere 2010. Yu-Gi-Oh! Beyond Bonds Beyond Time. Welcome to the Space Show. Wait, oh, those. That's the list of films. I want series, damn it. Not not OVAs, damn it. And sorry, nerds who are yelling at us. Oh, there it is, television series. I just like have I heard of any of these series? No, no, no. Duel Masters Cross Shock. No, I was going to sing the Rave Masters theme song, and that's the wrong show. Yeah, I feel like High School of the Dead is one that I know about, but that was only 12 episodes. Don't know about most of these. Yeah, I was going to say if there was a good one that I knew about, hey, we could do that as a really dumb spin-off show. But also, we don't need to feel obligated to make all of our fun social interactions into content, said Luke, looking at the previous year's anime. Cooking Idol Eye, my man. Minichi Kastan? Yeah, those had more episodes. I'm not going to find what I'm looking for there. Yeah. if you have ideas for a regular show cross, wait, when was that? Hunter anime. Hunter started in the reboot 2011 to 2014, and there's 148 episodes. Welcome to our spin-off regular show, and there's an X between regular and show, where I guess y'all need to tell us, is Gon or Killua the Mordecai or Rigby? Which one is which? Like, that's the debate. And I guess I'm less familiar with the regular show fan community. Are there people who want them to make out? I'm pretty sure there is a contingent, but I'm not sure if it is the large contingent. As the powerful group of pirates, Luffy, Robin, Frankie, Sanji, and Zoro defeated the zombies that attacked them in the graveyard. They find out that the zombies had also attacked Nami, Usopp, and Chopper, and head to the mansion to find them. Along the way, they are approached by Spoil, an old man who looks like a zombie, who asks for help getting his shadow back. He reveals that Gecko Moria runs the island, and Robin knows that Gecko Moria is one of the 7 warlords of the sea, and Luffy agrees to help him. Spoil is a great bit. Oh no, that is actually an old injured man who looks like a zombie.
I thought it was gonna be a big reveal that they were all old injured men. This was definitely before there were like any hints as to what the hell was going on with the zombies. So I was just like,
Mm-hmm.
what if they're just like really fucked up?
Or like it's the fantasy trope where they reveal like, oh, here's one character's trait so they can get killed off and turned into an old person, and then be like, oh wow, this old dead woman has this same marking or necklace or whatever.
I don't know what I was thinking was
Uh-huh.
going on,
But not
but
this.
not this.
Yeah, it's going weird places. Also, specifically, like 2 years ago, my wife and I started watching Charmed because we wanted something with a lot of episodes that did not require a lot of brain power, and they had a like life sucking demon episode or whatever. And I was like, oh hey, look, this opening scene that friend they have is drawing a lot of attention to her tattoo. I bet she's going to have something happen to her body, and that's going to be the other mark. And I was like, what do you mean? And it's like, because it's a cheap and easy storytelling plot. And then when it actually got to that, she was like, fuck you. I love my wife. I also love being aware of tropes. Back in the castle, Ryuma, the zombie samurai, knocks the wimpy trio into the lab of Dr. Hogback, and they note that Ryuma seems to be like Brooke. Hogback warns them that the night hunt will begin soon and all of the zombies will arise, and we also find out that Ryuma is a zombie samurai from Wano who slayed a dragon, and Ryuma knocks them out without them feeling anything using a special move, and then they are put inside a coffin and carried away by the Risky Brothers, who are 2 zombie squirrels. And Ryuma and the dragon initially came from Oda's earlier manga Monsters, which was adapted into a full anime this year. Because you know how I just mentioned Wano?
Yes.
Uh-huh. That's that's the arc that just got wrapped up last year slash earlier this year. Wano is a long time coming, but this is the first mention of it.
Oh, this dead guy that they shoved the shadow of a skeleton into.
Yeah, this samurai, this samurai I amurai.
Wow, that is a long con.
Well, and like the Ryuma thing was something that got pointed out, and then it just kind of got made into semi canon as a result.
Huh.
So it doesn't happen exactly as it happened in the manga and anime, but that's how legends work.
Yeah.
I have not I have not watched that yet, but maybe we'll get to that eventually. As rain begins to fall, the fog clears and Luffy's team sees the mast of the ship Thriller bark, and they realize how large it is, which is a cool ass moment.
Yeah.
They then fight their way through the dining room, and once the fighting ends, they notice that Sanji is gone, so they take Bowie Chuck, the mounted pighead, to be their guide. Zombie Night begins with a song. Did you enjoy the Zombie Night song?
I did. A lot of these villains don't have enough uh musical theater inside of their performances. Definitely missing that sense. Mr. Two Von Clay, um, is no
Yeah.
longer in the spotlight.
Yeah. I wonder if we'll ever see him again.
Here's hoping.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's a Mr. Two Bon Clay watch. We're
Hell
kicking
yeah.
it off for the year 2024/2025.
Yeah.
Absalom, the invisible man, goes to the zombies in the graveyard and orders them to get back up and start hunting, and they call him a pervert. And it's a thing where it's like, a pervert would be if he was just hiding in the room, leering at Nami's nude body. He's a sexual assaulter there, zombies. Like, y'all being too easy on him.
Yeah, but they're
Because,
still shunning him and like fucking dogging on him, and that's
yeah,
like
it,
he
it,
deserves to be dunked on this much, like more,
yeah.
really.
Mm-hmm. Absalom then goes to call in the zombie generals, but he is interrupted by Lola, a warthog zombie who wants to marry him, and he is not into it. And Absalom tells Lola that he plans to marry Nami, so she runs off to go and murder Nami, which very Looney Tunes in a good way. Like I feel as though a lot of the problems that we had with the first part have kind of been resolved at this point. There was definitely a lot of, I think, anime related issues, especially with the bathroom scene. But like this is One Piece starting to follow and fire off on more of the gears.
Right, right.
Like I laughed at jokes in this. The Risky Brothers, meanwhile, drop the coffin with the weak trio in Perona's Wonder Garden and then run off for backup. Nami wants to leave the island, but she really also wants the treasure. They are suddenly surrounded by a group of wild zombies that attack them. The wild zombies have animal parts to them, and when Usopp tries to burn them, they are resistant to it. And when the zombies attack Nami, she is protected by Inupe, who is a penguin zombie who acts like Sanji and is a weird dog penguin thing.
This guy looks like the fucking anime adaptation of like fucking. You know what? I can't even specifically say which Akewood character because it's
Uh,
just kind of like like a Frankenstein version of several of them put together.
it's a fucked up race, Smuckles. Like, even though Inupe has a dog's face, I think almost everyone is like, wait, the Akewood characters are cats? What? Like the main trio, or the main duo, really. Also, like, I think I mentioned how Oda got into asses this year.
Yeah.
And I keep thinking about the tits and ass comic where Ray realizes that he's a breast man now, and it's kind of like somehow in my mind I thought that he just went from being a ass from a breast man into an ass man, and it's just like no, I've gotten that mixed up, and I don't know. I feel like I don't quite understand if you enjoy women or the ladies or non-binary figures with I'm trying to figure out the term. Like my brain is tired, and it's like female aligned ladies, and that's not really the term. But like I feel like that's what you're into. You're generally into breasts, and then like asses are a thing that you're either into or not into, and just kind of the no, you're like most people start off as being into butts and then are into tits. Like that is a weird thing for me to comprehend.
There's nothing about a woman that I don't appreciate 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I can't call myself, uh, you know, a person more interested in ass or tits when there's nothing on a woman that I don't like.
Fair, but I mean, men can have good asses too. Like I've seen some
Men can have good asses over there. I don't need them over here.
fair. This has been a good moment. Wait until I try and get on Chris Onstad. I got him on Facebook. I mean, I could try. I don't think he would be interested.
Ooh,
Oh. Back in the castle, Zoro goes missing, and Luffy, Frankie, and Robin go looking for him. And then Luffy gets distracted and puts on a suit of armor to pursue his dreams. As they continue their search, a general zombie attacks, and it is stronger than the other zombies because they were great warriors when they were alive. And they are joined by more general zombies, so the three decide to split up to try and escape. Meanwhile, Zoro, who got captured by spider mice, is delivered via coffin to Gecko Moria, who steals Zoro's shadow, dropping his now unconscious body next to Sanji's. As Luffy, Frankie, and Robin fight the zombies, they are unable to make headway, and that is when Jigoro, a new general zombie who attacks like Zoro does, appears and distracts Luffy until he is grabbed as well. Jigoro is just a big old freak. Frankie gets surrounded, so Robin saves him, and then Frankie tries to light the zombies on fire, but they are prepared with buckets to put out the fire. Robin and Frankie try and chase after Luffy's coffin, but they are blocked by Tararan, who is a giant zombie monkey spider, and in the front with the zombie generals behind them. And I do like that we are getting Robin and Frankie moments because they're the at least best hetero aligned couple. Like, I am perfectly fine with trans headcanons for both of those characters, but like, hey, I am also glad that it's look at this cool couple. They're they're fucking like off camera. They're hooking up. They're doing weird stuff. They both enjoy weird stuff. It's fine. It's fine. It's good.
Any body part.
Any body part. Any body part. Back in the Wonder Garden, the other zombies are confused by an Inupe who is stronger than the other zombies and who's also still willing to attack Usopp and Chopper. Lola then sees Nami and starts chasing after her with an axe, but Inupe protects Nami even though he won't hit a lady. Absalom grabs Nami and starts running off with her while he's invisible, so Nami electrocutes him and the weak trio starts running off again. The wild zombies chase after them. Absalom orders them to not hurt Nami, and Inupe gets in their way to protect Nami, and Absalom hits him with his special attack. What do you think Absalom's special attack is?
I don't know.
The anime didn't know what it was either at this point. It is great. As they run, Chopper and Usopp trip and they notice that Lola continues chasing Nami. The two catch up and climb up on Lola to try and stop her. And once Nami's finally cornered, she claims that she is a crossdresser and supports Lola and Absalom getting together. Nami is able to ask Lola where the treasure room is, which is through Perona's room, and then Nami sicks Lola on Absalom, and we get to cancel Nami
now, there's a lot of thoughts. Number one is, how could you? It's pride, Nami.
Mm-hmm.
But seriously, it does also kind of feel like we did cast the right character, because if you'll remember, a couple of seasons ago, Lisa had faked her Native American ancestry. So I feel like this kind of
Fits.
You know, this little lie about who you are is definitely fits inside of what Lisa is capable of. So, yeah.
Also feels like one of those things where if queer like culture had been more widespread, Nami probably would have claimed that she is a drag queen instead, and that probably would have been a bit better. But yeah, it's still definitely a not the best, could be worse. And
I mean, if she was trans, that would kind of be like an easy excuse that we would definitely use.
Oh yeah.
So it can fit into the idea of a trans Nami headcanon pretty well.
But also, Nami, stop being transphobic and thinking that the horrific lion man would not be attracted to you just because you were trans. Trans Nami deserves to be chased and married too.
I mean, Absalom definitely gives Chaser vibes.
Christ. Yeah, so with Frankie and Robin surrounded, Frankie realizes that Tararan set up the web that captured the ship and they've been caught in the trap the whole time. Frankie blows up the bridge they were all standing on, and Robin uses her power to form wings, and with Frankie's help, they're able to grapple over to a landing. The zombies all survive the collapsing bridge, and Tararan promises revenge when Brooke suddenly falls from the sky. Perona, meanwhile, went to the Thousand Sunny with a squad of zombies to loot all the treasure, but then found out that they had no treasure on the ship. And Hildon then summons the Mysterious Three because they are going to wake up zombie number 900 as Luffy is delivered to Moria. And I do like how we are getting a lot of continuity bits that are paying off in ways that are great for comedy and are like, oh yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Like the ship having no treasure because it was all either stolen or wasted, or like Sanji's poster has his face all wrong, so no one knew who he was on the crew. And so that's why he got his shadow put into a random zombie. Like the payoff for these sorts of gags are great. Usopp, Chopper, and Nami hide inside Kumashi, who is Perona's stuffed bear zombie, to hide from Absalom as the Mysterious Three gather. And because Perona won't let Kumashi talk, they are safe. And Hildon announces that Brooke has returned to the island, which worries all of them. Back at the tower, Tararan returns to fight, and while Robin distracts the spider monkey zombie, Frankie makes nunchucks out of stone columns and smashes Tararan before hitting him with weapons left. But that is when a group of spider mice web up Robin while Tararan webs up Frankie. Brooke starts singing Binks's Brew, and his voice echoes through Thriller Bark before he appears and cuts through Tararan's body, exorcising the shadow from it by feeding it salt and defeating the giant spider monkey zombie. Banks's brew is one of those things that's going to be really seen everywhere, but you didn't notice before. They sing the song in the first episode of the live action One Piece, where you don't catch it unless you're familiar with the song, and it's a.
Dun-dun-dun-dun. Rawr.
The song is going to make you weep uncontrollably at a point, Janine. Watch.
Oh no.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So, with Tararan defeated, Brook explains how 5 years ago he washed up in Thriller Bark. While he was stuck in the Florian Triangle, he got captured and saw how Gecko sliced a shadow off and planted it into a corpse marionette, creating a zombie. The shadows reflect the owners of those shadows, so Gecko Moria uses his shadow fruit to steal them from powerful pirates and has Dr. Hogback create the zombies to hold the shadows. And that's when we find out that because Sanji was recognized, his shadow is put into a lesser zombie. And so the weak trio are stuck in Kumashi listening. Luffy, meanwhile, chews through the cage that he was put in, but Perona's negative hollows make him too depressed to escape, and his shadow is cut off for Zombie 900. Oh, I am so excited for Zombie 900, Janine.
That sounds like a very good Power Man 5500 cover band. Wow. I think that of course the shadow would be kind of like a clone of yourself. Of course, the different body parts you use affect the fucking zombie. Like, everything that they just built into it, it's just so fucking. Oh my god. And like. My favorite thing about all of it, about like this kind of world building, is that like instantly we are like invested from the start. Like, we want everybody to get their shadows back because we've seen what happens when you're out in the sun through that flashback that Brooke had. And it's like, yeah, he knows for sure, he wouldn't lie, this shit is bad. Like, so when it does happen, it's I mean, I know for a fact that it's not permanent, but I'm just like, you know you want to figure out how it's done, but you don't want to guess.
They've established the stakes and they understand it, and you can kind of let your head percolate with, oh, where is this going to go?
And it's the characters just being so much themselves that they're two characters.
All right, well, we have 14 characters to match this week, so are you ready, Janine?
I am.
All right, up first we have Spoil, who's an old man who looks like a zombie but is not actually a zombie. My Rodrigo style was Clyde Barrow's father, played by Abraham Simpson. My throwback was Cornelius Chapman, the former oldest man of Springfield who was killed by Britney Spears being attractive. And then I also tossed on Richard Nixon, who people thought he was dead, but he was not actually dead. He had just written an article for Redbook recently. And Zombie Flanders. Wait, Flanders was a zombie? Janine, who do you have?
I have as my Rodrigo style Horatio Kane. And my second pick is Bob Hope.
Which one was Horatio Kane?
He's the guy that says the thing for the TV show. Puts on the sunglasses.
Oh, yeah!
The very one, yes.
I was born in a crossfire hurricane. Luke, no, that's the wrong CSI opening. Okay, I can... God, that would be a good payoff. Can I interest you in a Richard Nixon? Can I interest you in a Tricky Dick? Because if you're not interested in the Tricky Dick that I'm serving, I can go with your Horatio Kane.
Well, look, I mean, I do kind of love the joke. Like, I'm not like that punchline that you added into it. Like, I think that sold it for me, especially for who Spoil is. So, yeah. What's a little dick? What's a little dick between friends?
I'm married, Janine. Up next, we have Kumashi, the poor, sweet, stuffed animal bear. Who you got for Kumashi?
Well, my Rodrigo style I have is Unicorn Wizard, and as for my second pick, very cursed pick, but Homer in a panda suit.
Christ. I believe you mean Sim Sim.
The very one. Because if you remember, that bear is entered unwillingly.
Yeah, and he's not supposed to talk. Christ. That's some rough chuckles there. My Rodrigo style was the Eurocone that Homer makes love to. Just because, like, what is the most disgusting thing that people enter into in these episodes? My throwback was the intensive care bear. And then I also had Bobo Smithers and actual Bobo the bear, but specifically the Battle Scar Bobo, which I think if we're going to have a stitched together stuffed animal bear, one of those two fits the bill a bit better. Like, Sim Sim is tempting, but I hate thinking about Sim Sim.
I mean, how much are we going to think about Kumashi?
Kumashi is a friend. Kumashi is great. Kumashi is well loved, and Perona cares about Kumashi, even though Perona is mean to Kumashi. Also, I think this will be the last opportunity we have for a stuffed animal bear.
Ever?
As far as we have gotten at this point, and where there have been characters, as far as I can remember, and as far as I've. Well, no, there might be another opportunity.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. One Piece Spain gets wild, and there's a character we could definitely use Bobo for there. That would be pretty fucking hilarious. God. Do you want to go with Sim Sim?
I want to go with Simpson.
You. I'd say you're breaking my balls, but they already don't work all the way. Yeah, okay, Sim Sim's fine. We then have Perona. I have 4 suggestions for Perona. My Rodrigo style is Bonnie, which is Marge as Bonnie. My throwback is Ravencrow Never Smiles. I also tossed on Darcy, the teen girl who Bart almost marries, just trying to put on another name. But my big pick is Donna, the goth girl from the bathroom when Lisa turns into a delinquent who smokes. Because she got pink hair, she got skull vibes, she goth, and yeah. and is also a person of questionable morality. Who do you have?
Uh, for
Perona.
my Rodrigo style, I have Nancy from the Sid and Nancy segment.
Mm-hmm.
And for my second pick, I have Gina Vendetti.
Mm-hmm.
However, I am gravitating to Miss Never Smiles here.
So, pink hair, though, and like Lisa does not stick with the Ravencrow Never Smiles. Donna, we get her for an episode, and it is a powerful look. Like, she owns the goth look.
Well, I just think that Ravencrow Never Smiles was actually like my profile picture for like
Mm-hmm.
a hot minute.
Mm-hmm.
Um yeah, for like half a year actually.
I remember. I
Um
know what I've gotten you into.
uh
There are going to be other goth opportunities,
other
but I
goth
feel like
opportunities.
goth opportunities, yes.
All right. I can go with Darcy.
You mean Donna?
Donna.
Hell yeah. Up next, we have Gyuro, Nin, and Bao, and they are a trio of tiny zombies who mainly just go and wake up Gecko Moria. Who do you have for these three? I assume that you did some sort of trio.
Yes, I did. For the Rodrigo style, I have Bart Puppy, Lisa Puppy, and Maggie Puppy.
Mm-hmm.
And for my second pick, I have the Guidopolis Zip Boys. What was their thing? It was like Chop Shop or something. It was something to sit to that gave you the idea that they were stolen parts.
Mm-hmm.
But like it
Uh,
was just straight up the Zip Boys.
yeah. Let me open that up because that is something that I want to see. I am not opposed to it. Guidopolis.
From the episode was called Midnight Towboy.
Midnight Towboy.
Yes.
Gotta use meme SRC to figure out the episode. I'm my own boss. You might say he's in here with me.
That means I'm your boss.
It is the Stolen Auto Parts Boys.
Stolen Auto Parts Boys.
Yep, there is uh, one who is smoking a cigar with glasses and a mustache, one who has a toothpick in his mouth, and one who just. All three of them are very unpleasant looking fellows. Unpleasant looking fellows. Okay, I posted that into our Discord for posterity. My Rodrigo style were the Fancy Flea, the Lady Flea, and the Explorer Flea, because we had talking fleas. My throwbacks were Sailor Lewis, Sailor Wendell, and Sailor Richard, from the ones where they are Pirates of the Caribbean style skeletal zombies. I didn't really care about these. I'm going to use the stolen auto part voice.
Hell yeah.
That's 3 on the board for Janine. Wow. But of course, now we get to the main event. Gecko Moria. My Rodrigo style is Chaz Busby, the dance instructor. My throwback is the Collector. And then I also put on straight full ass comic book guy. Because what is he doing? He is collecting people's shadows. He is controlling people. And I feel like he just has a good. Like, I think this is the best character that it's like, where could we use comic book guy? I think this is where we can use comic book guy. What do you have, Janine?
I have, for my Rodrigo style, Lord Evilton Homer.
Mm-hmm.
And then for my second one, the other Harry Potter parody villain, Lord Montemort.
Mm-hmm.
Basically the same parody guy, just parodied twice at different severity.
Mm-hmm. And what's this?
Pere, 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 pere. Pere, 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 pere.
We got two suggestions from the audience. Reverse Eye Patch suggested Adam West. And Atticus, aka King Atticus, suggested Joe Quimby, the mayor. So I really am on team comic book guy, even though he is missing one major component that I had wanted to use for all of the other warlords, which is the animal theming. But there wasn't really a solution. I didn't want to use Island of Dr. Hibbert comic book guy here.
I like the idea of the Collector more for this role.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that we have seen comic book guy in some small instances have more heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that the Collector literally collecting people fills this role a lot better.
Hell yeah.
Thematically, you know?
All right, I'm good to go with the Collector then.
Hell yeah.
Nice and easy. We then have Hippo Gentleman, who is a hippo man wearing a suit. He is a zombie. Who do you have for Hippo Gentleman?
I have first the Goofy parody
Mm-hmm.
as my Rodrigo style.
Mm-hmm.
And then my second choice, I have the ape bank teller. It's a bank teller that's wearing an ape mask that's telling you that you'll go ape over. I already forgot.
Their investments, or yeah, I remember the reference.
You get it.
Yeah.
Yes, you know the guy.
Yeah. My Rodrigo style was ballet guy, just because he is similarly fancy and upper crust, and I just couldn't think of a better one. My throwback is Hippo Judge Schneider, because we do need both a hippo and a gentleman, and Judge Schneider as a hippo is that. I also had Hippo in the House from the board game Hippo in the House, and I had that grilled hippo from Mom and Pop Art, where Homer thinks about grilling a hippo on the grill that he wants.
Judge Hippo. I gotta go
Hell
with
yeah.
that. Yeah. Like when you need a hippo man and you have a hippo man and you're not using the hippo man, what are you doing?
Hell yeah. We then have the Risky Brothers, the zombies. What does that mean? Why do we keep specifically specifying the zombies? We'll find out soon. I do like these little dudes. They got a lot of character and design to them. One of them has a nice wrestling mask.
Hmm.
The Rodrigo style that I had was Homer and Bart Raccoons. The throwback that I had was the multi-eyed squirrel from the Simpsons movie, and then Scrat. Well, I did not actually put in a picture of Scrat. And then the other one that I had was the chittering squirrels that Marge puts on a log in order when she's decorating the forest in Call of the Simpsons. Who you got, Janine?
I only have one set of names. I wasn't able to get another set, but I do have Raccoon, Bart, and Lisa.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm good to go. I'm going to go with Lisa and Bart Raccoons.
Awesome.
We are nice and copacetic. I will say that they only count as one character because they are a combo, but you got 3 points off of Euro, Nin, and Bao. So, we then have John, aka Captain John, and you see how many stars this guy got, Janine?
Yeah, that was weird.
Uh huh. It's like there's a setup for something with this character.
Hmm.
Uh huh. Because, yeah, I could say more things, but I'll let you be like, wait, fuck. Did Oda really plant that all the way back there? And I'll be like, yeah, now you understand it. My Rodrigo style is FDR. Because the chin and the nose is very FDR. My throwback was Captain Mordecai Barrows, specifically the drunken captain version of it. And then I also put on Horatio McAllister because Captain John is very much the traditional captain pirate.
Mm.
Who do you have, Janine?
My Rodrigo style was Zach from Sneakers, the Joey Greco parody.
Mm-hmm.
And my second choice was Gravedigger Billy.
I'm going to double check because I feel like we keep bringing back.
From the
Yeah,
dead.
No, we've used Gravedigger Billy already.
Oh shit, we have?
Yeah, because you also wanted to use him last week, and I was like, no, we've used him already.
Oh my
Or last
god.
episode.
I won't
Yeah.
let him rest.
Mm-hmm. He kind of got wasted on a filler character, but yeah, he's been used.
I will have to wait for another 44 episodes? 43 episodes before I can make another petition to change something.
To retcon Wetton. To reopen the gates of Gravedigger Billy. And unleash Oblivion. Okay, so does the fact that I'm willing to use Horatio McAllister, the sea captain here, intrigue you at all?
It sort of does. It sort of does. I mean, that's the thing about this is that, you know, I'm trying to catch the wind with these.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have no idea where these images, where these characters, where these names go, any further from what I'm presented with now. And
Mm-hmm.
to try to nail that down, to try to catch that wind and hold on to it for something long enough for you to look at it and say, yeah, you got it, is like, can be so hard sometimes. And the other times you just gotta I got to let you have one and
Mm-hmm.
just trust that it just goes somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I generally try to not lie or mislead you. I haunt you. I give you grim premonitions of the future that is to come. That is my ace in the hole. But, things are going to burn the way they're going to burn.
That's true. That is true.
Quiet chuckling. I mean, I do feel like Captain Mordecai Barrows fits the overall vibe. And we'll have other opportunities, but I feel like getting that drunk wretch energy, Mordecai Barrows has that more for Captain John.
All right. Well, let's go with Mr. or Captain Barrows then.
All right. We then have Lola, the warthog bride, and Lola also going to have some important ties in ways that you won't expect, and you'll never see them coming. I believe you went first last time, or did I? No, I went first last time. So who do you have for Lola?
I only have one name, but I feel very confident about it. Queen Elizabeth I.
Is that a Rodrigo?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Because?
I dislike the monarchy.
Okay, but Lola is an ally.
I guess, maybe.
I mean, if you told Queen Elizabeth I that you were trans, do you think she'd be chill?
Look, dog, there's only so many ways. Like, I was given a dead pig.
Okay, but like, are you ready for me to clown on you like you are one of the Washington Generals and I am one of the Harlem Globetrotters?
That is some very big talk.
Okay, my Rodrigo style was the Tunnel of Love wolf person. My throwback was the Safari Warthog. I also tossed on Moo Tilda. But do you remember Lisa's wedding?
Yep.
Do you remember the gift that Homer gives to Hugh that Hugh refuses and gets Lisa to call off the wedding?
Yes. I'm looking at him right now. Now that I'm looking
Cufflink,
at him.
Yeah, the Cufflink Pig Bride. That is recognizable. That is a pink pig. That is what we are looking at, dog.
You see, when I started this, and I said, when you need a hippo man, and you have a hippo man, use a hippo man. I was not expecting that I was gonna see a pig bride that we had. Because by my own logic, now I have to fall on my own sword for pig bride.
Thank you. It feels so good. Bum, bum, ba-da-bum. I was very proud of that one. We then have Enupe, the penguin dog with Sanji's shadow in it. My Rodrigo style was the Mo dog. My throwback was the dancing penguin from the Simpsons movie that's in Grand Theft Walrus. I also tossed on Lenny's super pet, the dog, and then I also put on the penguin group from Simpson Tide. Also, just brief tangent, did you see that Legion of Super Pets movie?
I didn't.
It's weird because it's not what I was expecting it to be. Abby and I watched it last night, and she was surprised that it was watchable, and I was surprised that there was just so many guinea pigs in it.
Huh. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Also, the voice cast is weirdly stacked.
Huh.
Yeah. Like for what are essentially a lot of very bit parts. Who do you have for Inube?
Well, for my Rodrigo style, we already have a hit together because I also chose Modog.
Mm-hmm. Way of the
Um,
Samurai.
yes, and my second pick was Taquito the Chihuahua that Millhouse owns sometimes.
So do we just want to put Modog?
Yeah, Modog. I love Modog.
Mm-hmm. Modog, Way of the Samurai, Modok, mental organism designed only for killing. We then got Jigaro. Jigaro is a big
Modog, no
old.
problems.
Who do you have for Jigaro, the zombie that Zoro's soul is put into?
For this one, I went a little bit obvious. I went for Nelsons.
Mm-hmm.
And we have two different kind of Nelsons.
Mm-hmm.
I have Sid Vicious Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
My first pick, my Rodrigo pick. My second pick, also a Rodrigo pick, Columbo Nelson. See a little bit of it inside of those credits.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it I love it. I love it together. I love it that it's him that's Columbo too.
So, my Rodrigo style was also Sid Vicious.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't have a good throwback that I could think of. I also put Nelson's dad on here. But I think Sid Vicious is the way to go.
Yeah.
He is a mess. He is ready to fight.
Yeah.
All right. And then last we have Tararan. And my Rodrigo style was the Tunnel of Love Spider. My throwback was Bart Spider from A Nightmare That Lisa Has. And then I also put on the steam powered Super Spider from another episode that Professor Frink makes. Who do you have?
My Rodrigo style, I have Dog Catcher Willie.
Mm-hmm.
And for my second pick, I have a Willie of a different nature.
Mm-hmm.
Nightmare Willie Bagpipe Spider. That thing has a Funko Pop, dog.
Oh, yeah. No, I am familiar with what you're talking about. Wait. Okay, pardon me. I think we had that come up some point earlier, but we didn't end up using him. Yeah, One Piece will have more spider monsters. A character we already cast is a spider monster that has been revealed since. But like also most of these spider monsters that we're going to get, I feel comfortable saying this because you will probably not remember when we get there in like 5-6 years, are all ladies. So, yeah, if you're good at using Bagpipe Spider Willie, I'm good with that.
Hell yeah.
All right. So, that was fairly painless. Our spoil is Richard Nixon. Our Kumashi is Sim Sim. Our Perona is Donna. Our Gyuro, Nin, and Bao are the Stolen Auto Parts Boys. Our Gecko Moria is the Collector. Our Hippo Gentleman is Hippo Judge Schneider. Our Risky Brothers Zombies are Lisa and Bart Raccoons. Our John is Captain Mordecai Barrows. Our Lola is Cufflink Pig Bride. Our Anupe is Mo Dog. Our Gigoro is Sid Vicious. And our Tararan is Bagpipe Spider Willie. And I was on vacation last week. I was enjoying some time up in Traverse City, listening to a lot of Punch Up the Jam, and yeah, I need to actually like watch everything for the next episode. But I'm pretty sure next time we get Big Boy season. Oh wait, I already have notes prepared for the next episode because I'm a weirdo. Yeah, episode 57. Oh, yep. I had spoil on that one too, but we already got spoil. Next week we get Oars, the big old zombie. We also get a bunch of new characters. And we're going to get another Simpsons episode about the Spuckler kids.
Yay!
Oh, and we're going to get another one of those moments where you're going to be like, wait, fuck, that's what this was building to, Janine? Janine, we're going to get why Brooke is very important to One Piece
Okay.
and things that have come before. Would you like to make a prediction?
I cannot think of anything.
Okay. We are going to get to one of the famous impossible things that 4Kids led to. But if people want to be cool and message you online, where can people find you, Janine?
You could be able to find me online. Let's see, on Twitter for some reason and Blue Sky at Janine Juliet. You can find me posting my selfies and stuff on Instagram when I can remember it at Janine is dope. What else? I do another podcast, Wrestle Girlies, with the beautiful artist Flyy Buttless. We have I've got to update. I think that's it. I don't think I have anything else going on. And where can people find you, Luke?
People can find me on Blue Sky at Coltrane, KOL here, EG. I'm also, unfortunately, very active on Reddit, which, if you want to make comics, I spend too much of my time trying to help people make comics and getting ignored by people who will then go on to most likely never make comics. So, and then I think I mentioned in this show that I'm going to be at CXC coming up this year, which is like one of two shows that I'm going to be at. I'm also going to be at the Middletown Comic Expo, which is a new comic show in Middletown, Ohio, for its first year, and it's going to be fun on the bun. Yeah, and you can find my comics at my itch.io, or I guess also my Gumroad. Most of those are either free or pay what you want. If you enjoy the current cover artist for the show, that is Mike Patton, who you can find most places at Patton Pending, PattenPending. Mike is wonderful and easy to work with, and if you are a producer for a animated series and are looking for a quality animator, you should hire Mike. D'ohMance Dawn updates every 2 weeks. We do it more often, but we'd run out of One Piece and Simpsons, and also both of us are very busy with our lives. And we need time to percolate on some of these picks.
Mm-hmm.
So, Find us at D'ohManceDon.com. There's also a Blue Sky account, and there's technically a Facebook, but I'm bad at updating it. And we have a Discord, which is very chill. And I was in there talking about Pikmin Bloom today. That's kind of it. I have obviously run out of steam on my 5.5 hours of sleep that I got last night. So, yeah, I think that's all I got. Anything else before we're signing off, Janine?
No, I think that's it for me.
All right. Well, then, in that case, we will see you all in another 2 weeks. Smooth sailing, and watch that salt intake, zombie boys. Peace.